And Eric's probably gone 17 times.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. Try to catch me howling at the moon. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Come on. Go. You want some food? Here.
Go.
Juliet.
Go.
Come on. Juliet. No. Mama. Come on.
Go.
Come on.
Go.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. You want a banana? You want a banana? You want a banana?
Oh, come here, Bubba. Come here, Bubba. Come here, Mama. What you doing? What you doing? What's up, dudes and dudettes? What are you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Huh? Huh? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Huh? What you doing? Where's your good boy? Where's your good boy? Oh, yes, I see you too, mamas. I see you too, mamas. Okay. See ya. All right, dudes and dudettes. So the homies are home. This is their palace, which needs to still have some stuff done to it. You're gonna steal an apple? That's okay. Come on, let's go. All right, so dudes and dudettes, this is what we got going on. Here's the Three Musketeers, real quick. That's Elvis, Presley, and then their woman there in the middle. And then we got Karen in the back there. I'm gonna basically do a small episode right now. We're gonna keep this one a little bit short. So, obviously, I am elated to have my homies back here with me. And unfortunately enough, we're still under emergency protocol. I have some materials that I'll show you guys once I get outside. But I built this enclosure for these guys to spec per the law, rules, regulations, all that stuff. It took a lot longer than I wanted to, but I'm happy that my homies are back home. Yes, Bubba's. Yeah, get it. Get the beard. And so I was worried for a long time, even though I was going to see them on a regular basis. And I had help taking care of them. I was unsure if I was going to be able to keep the relationship. And interestingly enough, for as long as I've been working with the primates, especially these guys, the macaques, as dangerous as they are and can be, I thought that because of the time away, even though I was going every couple of days, I could only spend an hour, 2 hours here, 2 hours there, because it was a far drive back and forth, and I have everybody else to worry about. So I was a little unsure if we were going to be able to keep the same relationship that we had for so long. And I can't even speak anymore. Interestingly enough, the relationship seemed to strengthen as far as the bond between me and him and her. Before, I wouldn't even let him on my lap because I didn't want him in front of me. Certain cues from the macaques, like if I'm talking to somebody inside the enclosure and I forget and I start laughing and I show teeth, they could take that as a threat. And there's been a couple of times where Romeo, and you guys have seen his canines before, if you haven't, go back a couple of videos, find one with his canines where you could see how big they are. He could do a lot of damage, if not kill you, if you weren't paying attention. So as he got older, sexually mature, things change, hormones change, just like people. And whenever he would sit on the front of my lap, there would always be you know, we'd be fine for 15 minutes, and then if something set him off, he would go right for the throat. And he would put teeth on my neck, and you have to stay as calm as possible because I can't tell him the N-O word. I can't push him away. I can't reprimand him. Everything has to be basically ignoring the bad behavior and reinforcing all the good behaviors that we want. So being of what we went through for the last, it's almost 2 years. August, it'll be 2 years since the bullshit with the park. I really thought that I was going to have a hard time getting the relationship back. Now, whether or not I got that relationship back, they were still going to come home with me no matter what and spend the rest of their days with me. But I'm happy to inform everybody that the relationship is stronger than it ever was. Once I got them back here and they realized that they're with dad every single day, and they can't stay in the enclosure right now, and I'll tell you guys why in a little bit. So basically I come out here with them, I bring them out, and we stay out for a couple hours. If I leave the house, I got to bring them back inside. If I do anything off the property, I have to bring them back inside. And then at nighttime, I bring them back in as well. You know, during the day, I'm around the property, I'm building the cage next door. And when I get out of this enclosure, I'll show you everything that we have going on the property to kind of let you know what layout we're going with, why we chose that, and basically the ins and outs of going through and building all this stuff. And it's not easy to do all this. I haven't done it in a long time. Thankfully, I have some awesome neighbors, Normie, Miguel, all these guys next to me, the house over here, across the street. These guys came over and helped out with a lot of the heavy lifting, laying things out, and making sure that we had a good sturdy cage. A lot of it is just getting the damn materials these days, especially this wire here. The people that used to carry it don't tend to carry it anymore. I used to get this for 55 bucks a sheet. It's $120 a sheet now. So stretching it out, I went 16 by 32, which is a hell of a lot of space, which does one of two things. Number one, obviously gives them more room to do whatever the hell it is they want. Now the cage is fairly bare right now. I'm not finished. So we got a couple of swings in here for them to play on, steps, and then I got the crates in here that I'll bring them inside and out. So generally, like when we first started this, it's also good because it kind of built back the training, because I used to crate train them almost every day, and now they're back to being crate trained. So for the first couple of days, I was having to use both crates because one would go in and then it would take a while to get the other one in because they were unsure if they were leaving or not. Now they've gotten the routine that they go inside for nighttime, they come back outside during the day, and if they have to go back inside, they have no issues with it. So now they'll usually just both go in the bigger crate, and then I'll bring them right inside. And the reason for it is because they are class 2 animals. We still are in Florida. I still have to follow the laws. But the property that they were at, where my buddy was taking care of these guys, because of the lady that he rented that property from, it was supposed to be a 99-year lease. And without getting into a bunch of BS, basically, the lease wasn't honored. The property is no longer there. These guys had to be moved a lot sooner than we thought, which kind of pushed me to get everything done quickly. But I still have to put a perimeter fence around this, which the material finally got here, so these guys will be able to stay outside permanently, probably within the next couple of days. First, I have to get the FWC out here to do their inspection, which they'll have to come in, do the inspection inside the cage, outside the cage, gauge the wires, and gauge the perimeter fence as well. And then they'll be able to stay out here for good. So what's missing from this cage is a bunch of things. Right now they have one little thing to climb up on. They have some stairs to go up on, swings. They have their crates if they want to go in there, and then just a little tub for water. So I'm going to move their pool into here. And I think on this corner right here, the top corner right up here, we're going to run a roof, and then I'm going to close it in. So this side from that post right there to there, and that post from there to probably about right here is all going to be enclosed. And then I'm going to build a platform right here. So they're going to have a big old platform here. That way, if they want to get out of the weather, they can. These guys like the water. It's not like the lemurs, and I'll show you those guys here in a minute. These guys like the water, so oftentimes they like to hang out in the rain. They like to get squirted with the hose. Usually daily I'll come out here and we'll play games with the hose. Now, I haven't done anything with the floor yet. I have a bunch of sod coming in. I want the enclosure to look like that right there. So right next door is an identical enclosure. This door right here will have a hallway to the other enclosure there, so it's going to be a safety entrance so that I don't have to walk them to the other side to get in. But it's been I got so much to say, but like I said, I'm going to keep this short. We're going to do a live here probably in the next day or so. We'll talk a little bit more about what happened the past couple of months, why I've been gone. I do want to take some time to thank everybody out there that's continued to support, everybody out there that has been worried about where I'm at and what's going on. But to break it short for right now, I had to worry about my guys. So basically, I shut everything off, no social media, no nothing. My main focus was just making sure that all my animals made it back home. Everybody's safe and sound. You could see she got a little bit thin because Fat Boy over here was stealing on her food, and I think she was a bit depressed. Now she's been eating a lot better. She's been gaining weight. She's doing very well. So I'm happy with everything. But like I said, during the live, we'll talk about where my absence was, why it was, and everything that went on, and then we can ramble on a little bit more. For this one, I just wanted a short, sweet episode to show you guys what we had going on. Now I'm going to show you guys what we have as far as the other enclosures we're building, other plans for the property, plans for the future. Everything is going to be good. I'm finally feeling better, finally feeling like myself, finally seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. So it just goes to show, no matter how shitty life gets, don't let life get on top of you. Do whatever you can to push through it. Eventually, you'll get to where you need to be. All right, let's move out of this enclosure, let these guys eat, finish up their night. I'll be coming back for you guys soon. Look what they do to their water. They have Lixits too that we put out here, but they've gone through like 8 to 10 of the plastic ones. But I do have a well pump in the back over there, so we're going to fix the pump this weekend after we get that fence up, and then we're just going to run a Lixit straight to the well pump so they can press on that button whenever they want. That's what they're used to, but they do like their water bowls for their food. Anywho, that's what's going on with this enclosure. Let me give you a short tour of the rest of what we got going on outside the house, and then I'll see you guys on the next episode. Stay tuned. We got tons of reptile stuff coming up. We still got to bring the big gators over here. We're going to be visiting Andrew at Wild Florida. I got to go pick up an anteater once that enclosure is built. Shit, we got so much stuff going on. It's going to be a fun ride. Right, boys? Can I have a kiss? No, just picking through my stuff. You want to go eat? Why don't you go eat? Here, boy. Go on. Go eat. No hugs. No hugs. Go eat. Good boy. Good boy. All right, boom. What you doing, boys? What you doing, boys? What you doing, boys? So Fiji's getting big. These guys top out at about 6 months. This is Maui Moana's kid from last year. So he's a boy. He's Bimini's boyfriend. And, oh, Bimini, you got your mama? You got your mama, Bimini? Look how good this girl is doing. Look how good this girl is doing. Can we see her eye? Can we see her little pirate eye? Let me see that little pirate eye. Rawr. Let me see the pirate eye. She's like, I don't want to be bothered by the boy. Let me see the pirate eye. Hey. Can we see the pirate eye? There it is. There it is. There it is, little one-eyed wonder. Monkey playtime. You need a bath, boy. You need a bath, boy. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. So this is pretty much all day, every day for these guys. They're about ready to go outside. She stayed inside longer than any other lemur because of her eye and everything that we went through with her. He's about ready to go. I usually keep him inside for about a year, and then they'll go outside. Leave the lizard alone. Lizard doesn't want to play with you. But their enclosure is going to be built next. I'm going to go outside right now and show you guys what we got going on. Oh, look at that. You shit everywhere. Good job, bud. Yeah. Did you get it out? Better out than in, right? Better out than in. Don't jump that way. There's a fan there. There's a fan there. There's a fan there. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. Here's your beautiful boy. Who's beautiful boy? All right, dudes and dudettes. This is going to conclude the tour of the short episode. So check it out. We got materials here and materials here and materials here. cage that I need to fix, some crates I need to put back together, and all this crap over here. So this was the perimeter fence that I was telling you guys about from the macaques. All this goes along with it, this goes along with it, all this goes along with it. And then I have all my lumber and everything. It's basically been like a staging facility in front of my house, which is driving me insane, but this is actually less than half of what used to be out here, minus the fence that took a long while to get. So it's like I tell everybody, if you're gonna get animals, whether it's 30 bucks or $30,000 for that animal, that's not where the price ends. The price ends, unfortunately, after that animal passes, which is hopefully a good, long, healthy, and happy life. Right, little guy? Right, little guy right there, you see him? So this is the gate. It's got to be 8 foot tall for the perimeter fencing. It's got to be 11.5 gauge, so it's commercial grade stuff right there. This shit was really difficult to find. So I'm gonna speed through this stuff. We got some other scrap stuff over there that I'm gonna probably use for platforms and all that. I got the house that needs to be pressure cleaned desperately if I can get to it. So Maui and Moana are probably up here just being lazy as hell, sleeping up top. What you guys doing? Absolutely nothing? Don't mind me, I'm just your dad. So their feeding station's up there. I built her nest box over here, and we did it with like a privacy wall type of deal, so that when she had her babies, if you know any of the neighbors were out or if there was a lawnmower going off or whatever, she could be completely enclosed. This, unfortunately enough, is gonna have to be redone, so I'll have to reburn it because it's supposed to look more like that. That's very clean stuff right there. This stuff right here gets a little bit of weather, so I'm gonna reburn it and then gloss it. The sides were beautiful when they first started, but again, not pressure treated, and my dumbass did not gloss it. So I'm gonna remove the sides and we're gonna make it look like this, and then I'm gonna gloss over it so the sides look good. These guys do not like the rain or water at all. They hate the hose, hate the water, hate the whole 9 yards. The bottom was full of organic mulch. Surprisingly enough, here in Clewiston, you can't get damn cypress mulch, and you can't get, look, another piece of wire that was buried under the leaves. But you can't get cypress mulch and you can't get eucalyptus. That's the only 2 mulches I use for any of the animals, because I don't want any dyed stuff. Now, I did find some organic stuff that was in that enclosure, and within a week it was just full of white fungus, full of crap, so I went ahead and dug it out. So I'm gonna have to make a 2-hour drive to go get some damn mulch. So here's why I don't like this enclosure. The enclosure is awesome because it got me what I needed. Krista Barker, Treetop Exotics with Brian over there, they were a tremendous help in getting the animals cared for while they were not here at the house while I built. So I wanted this built before she got pregnant to move her over here so that she could get pregnant in the cage and not stress out. What I don't like about it is that it doesn't have enough room for these guys, so I'm constantly in their personal space. So what we're gonna do is build probably to about that high, and we're gonna build an enclosure up here, no roof. So this will be the roof side when they wanna get out of the weather, and this side's just gonna be a big, huge square with a bunch of trees, rope swings, and everything else in there, platforms, the whole 9 yards. And then that'll also be in the window, so I'll be able to view them from both sides, but it'll definitely open up the enclosure. Then we got the garage, which I'll show you in a different episode. So the crocodilians are in there, some of the reptiles are in there, and that's gonna be probably the reptile house all the way around. Then we got this thing that I had started to mirror the enclosure that Maui and Moana are in. So same thing, it's gonna be a little bit too small. This will be Bimini and Fiji's cage or the anteater's cage. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm gonna extend this probably out towards where I'm standing right now so that I can get more room, or I'll move it all the way over and I'll move that gate either to the corner of the fence over there or the middle somewhere. I'll reconfigure this, but I'm gonna build this a little bit bigger too because I want it to be like the homies enclosure. So here's the second one, and there'll be a hallway in between connecting both cages. So there'll be a door on this cage, a door on this cage, and a door coming from the other side so that I can get in, close the door behind me, have a safety door, and it'll split the 2 enclosures. I'm gonna leave this one as a surprise as to what's going in there. But yep, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So until the next time, I'm gonna get back to building. There's Karen's little space way out back there. I don't know where the roosters are now. Probably out bothering the neighbors next door. They go hang out with the duck next door, interestingly enough. But yeah, that's what we got going on. But we got all this space out here to work with. So we're gonna have some alligators coming out. And what else? I think that's it. I think that's it. So we're getting there. Some things need to be changed. Some things need to be fixed. I need to pressure clean my damn house if I could ever get to that. There's my fat piggy sitting over there. Boom. And she has literally destroyed that door. And then on top of that, I mean, she scratches everything. Look at this. This is pretty hilarious, actually. So she can literally scratch the mortar right off a wall. That's how impressive my big girl is. Big girl. Big girl. Big girl. Boom.